Yo, what's up, team? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment, where you about to get that real, honest review.
That's right, y'all. And today we got for you Venom, The Last Dance.
This is the last Venom movie that we know of with Tom Hardy.
Yes, part 3.
Part 3.
The trifecta.
We got 3 Venom movies out there.
Yes, we did.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I didn't see it coming without a Spider-Man. They
Me
did
either.
it. They did
Me
it.
either.
Hey,
Yeah.
they did it. They was like, yo, we gonna make it work. And with that said, I'm ready to review this movie.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, man. For those out there that's new to the channel, let me explain how we like to do movie reviews on J3 Entertainment. First thing first, this is a spoiler-free review. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do not spoil anything of this film unless this review's been up longer than 10 days. That's fair.
That's fair.
All right. Next thing, we like to talk about the good. We like to talk about the bad. Then we go ahead and give you guys a web-slinging gray. All right. Or, all right, whichever way you want. Organic or web shooters. All right, so, you ready?
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
All right, talk about your good, man.
All right, first one for me is the runtime. This movie hit the sweet spot. Because a lot of times movies overstay their welcome and you find yourself looking at your watch a couple of times. But for this one, the first time I looked at my watch, I looked up and it said, oh yeah, movie's over.
You ain't lying about that, bro. I don't remember looking at my clock. I remember setting my clock to put on a movie watch time, but I don't remember looking at it. That's true. Runtime was decent. For me, I had to go on the entertainment factor. Was I entertained in this movie? Yeah, I was. For the most part, I was very entertained in it. It had a great hybrid feel from part 1 and part 2 makes part 3. So some of the good stuff that was in part 1 and some of the good stuff in part 2 kind of came together and made an enhanced version of that in part 3. I was entertained. I had a couple chuckles. I enjoyed a lot of, for the most part, a lot of the full-fledged action scenes, especially the third part. I thought it was very interesting that they actually gave Venom something of a threat this time instead of going against another symbiote.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool and genuine, and actually thought out because they kind of listened to the fans at this point. It was like, yo, we need something different. Give me something else. And I thought that was really unique and different at the same time. I was entertained. I was entertained. Are you entertained? Yeah, I was.
Okay, next one for me is the story itself. It was kind of simple but easy to follow. There was nothing convoluted about it, and it was like this is the story we want to present you with.
Yeah.
Here's this, and this. Have fun. So,
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a very fun going experience. You have to place yourself in this world, right? So let's put it like this. Venom, The Last Dance is a 1990s film with a high budget. So it comes with the 90s vibe, corniness, at the same time throwing a little some action. It's kind of like it's trying to touch on every beat for every potential audience member. And if you understand that, you will have a better experience. You cannot go in this movie expecting to get a comic book version of or animated version of the Venom that we know of today.
Yeah.
Right? You have to go in and say this is Sony's portrayal of Venom, and you should already know that from 1 and 2. And once you're able to accept that, the experience is cool. It's mellow. It's a mellow experience. I think more children, or I'll say teenagers and below, will really just be that guilty pleasure film growing up. You know what I mean? If you really just take out the comic book aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The acting was really good. You know, it's never been subpar acting. You have tier 1 actors in these movies.
Yeah. And
you see it. You know what I mean? Tom Hardy talking to himself, talking to Venom and stuff, back and forth. You know what I mean? That James McAvoy idea split. You know what I mean? It's there. You see it and you understand it. You know, it had a cool take on it. You know what I mean? So, you got any more good?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. I thought the directing was much better in this one. I thought it was you felt some stuff. You know what I mean? And I think the directing was much better coming in this one than the other ones, if that makes sense. It felt different.
Yeah.
It's like the direction knew what it was and knew how to handle it. You know what I mean? But that's all I got. That's good. What about you? That's it, right?
Yeah, that's all I got for my good.
All right, let's get into the Badlands. All right, what we got?
All right. So for me, the first bad is.
Damn, you got a list. All right.
Yeah, I have a couple. So for me, the first bad is actually the action, and not all of the action, but the action. Whereas Venom was fully formed, because I felt like it was underwhelming. Like, I understood the story aspect of it, but when he was Venom, it felt like I've seen this before. Right? It was like, it wasn't bad per se, but it needed to hit another notch. It needed to step up another level, and it just didn't do it. And if it had taken that step forward, it would have been good.
I feel you. Since it's the last one, it should have been more of a climactic. I got you. For me, the bad, I have to say, and it's unfortunately it happened in all the Venoms now, is the editing. The editing is bad. This movie should have really been called Venom: The Bad Edit. It's all kind of stuff going on. It's like watching a 90s soap opera. Like, this is going and this is going. If you didn't watch this or that or read this, you don't really know what's going on when it comes to the cuts, the shots. Like, when you first get the first intro, you just hear this voice talking and you're like, why? What's going on? What really went on? You know what I mean? The edits really hurt this story, because the story was, you can catch the story, but it's how they chopped it. And it felt like it was missing ingredients to a degree. And that's just, unfortunately, I think the Venom style they want to run with, because all the Venoms had bad edits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The edits was bad. It was choppy, bro. I was like, dang, I can follow you. The story's followable, but the shots is just like, dang, you got good shots, but then they cut out.
Yeah. My next final bad, is the visual threat. Once again, I understand the story elements, but the threat that we got, while cool, I felt like for a third movie, it needed another one. It, like, he needed two different type of enemy types, and because the threat that we got was decent, but it was like, hit me with that, you gave me a right punch, where's the left?
Got you.
You know? So if he had one more, it'd be like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
like you would have really been like, oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Another bad, this movie should have been rated R.
Yeah.
It's PG-13. That's the trend. I knew that going in. I'm just saying, it had a lot of great elements that could have been why it was choppy. It should have been rated R. Could have had the rated R scenes. I thought would have made it more fulfilling. Instead, they made it more family going base with a little bit of twist. It was like they thought of Jaws, in a sense. Like, Jaws is a PG-13 movie, and they were like, yo, if Jaws can push that limit and kids at a certain age can watch this, let's push it to a limit so kids can watch it, but then we can ease the grown-up aspect by throwing a little bit, pushing that 13 on it. But I feel like it should have been rated R. They did show some stuff because they pushed that 13, which I thought was cool. It was daring. But, you know, we've just got off of Deadpool and Wolverine. So, I mean, and there was kids in there. So, yeah. I mean, like, you know, why?
Kids now ain't the kids from then when Jaws came out.
Nah, we were worse back then. Show me everything, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're right.
Remember, Blaxploitation, Coffee was in theaters.
Yeah.
All right. We were seeing a lot back then. But, you know, that's a bad. You got any more bad?
No, aside from that one, but we talked about that. So.
All right. It's just unfortunate, you know what I mean? And take my hat off from them making 3 of them, but unfortunately, you put us in '97, and I have to look at it like a CW movie with a high budget, and I feel like it missed this beat. But that's all I got. Let's go and give this movie a web slinging grade. See, what do you give Venom?
2.5 stars.
Okay. You got a reason why, or just? I mean, you told us why.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
It's because it's a decent movie, right? It's not one that I would never ever watch again. If it came on TV, I'd watch it, right? Because it is enjoyable for what it presented to us. So that's why you get the 2.5, because it's decent middle. I don't want to call it mid, but it is decent.
Got you. For me, I was entertained. It had a great runtime, but the things that I feel hurt the movie the most was just, that's what takes me out of it. Cause you know what I mean, you're like, okay, we're about to chop here. They're gonna make this sad. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. It's like it was a lot they were trying to cram in, and you can feel it. You can feel that the product seems rushed. Not saying it was, but it does seem rushed. Seem like they chop stuff like they always do, and we kind of knew that going in. With that, I'm not even gonna even rate it at that level, because if you don't know by now, that's on you. You know, fool me once.
Yeah.
You know, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Shame on me.
Nah, it's shame on you again. 3 times. You're crazy. With that said, I'm gonna give this movie 2 stars out of 5. I think if you enjoyed the rest of the other Venom movies, you will really enjoy this one. Everything else has always been subpar with me. It was just up and down. I couldn't tell you if I watched the other Venom movies. I think I watched Venom 1 again with my son. I don't remember watching Venom 2, besides in the theaters. Yeah. This one, I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than the other 2, so I might actually watch this if it came on, if it was streamable. But yeah, 2 stars out of 5. But guess what? It's not about us.
It's about y'all.
Post your comments down below. Let us know what grade you gave Venom: The Last Dance in the comments down below. And don't forget, don't spoil it for anybody unless this video's been up longer than 10 days. By then, if you ain't seen it, I don't think you want to. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and press the subscribe button. Thumbs this video up. Don't forget to share. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. I'm J3.
It's your boy C.
Road to 100,000 subscribers.